Every time a shooting star would streak across the night sky, you made me stop and watch it with you. I'd like to think you're one of those stars. You spent a lot of time up here, which in turn means I spent my fair share on this roof as well. You always wanted to explore the universe. It's a shame you never made it off Zenith. Zenith, the festering sore. I'm lucky if I can close a single case. Drugs, violence. What's a detective to do against the tsunami of crime and debauchery? Every file is a stairway to nowhere. The city is paved in chalk outlines and blood-stained blacktop. One of the most populated zones I've been in, but I've never felt so alone. A lot of bodies have been turning up lately, more than usual. Clothes and skin are all shredded in kind, like a wild animal attack. I'm following up with a local zookeeper about what kind of animal leaves marks like these. On Zenith, the zookeepers are game wardens as well, so they function a lot like a police force would, but with about 10% of the budget. I'm guessing you're Tarselli?
What's it to ya? Oh, you must be Detective Shade. Sorry about that. Always getting high rollers, trying to buy or sell exotic animals. It's exhausting. Is it illegal? Yes. Do I want to do paperwork all day because Trust Fund Tommy wants an Abraxas tiger but is too stupid not to bribe a game warden? No.
I hear you. So about that file I sent over, you seen anything like that?
No. I mean, yeah, I took a look. But no, I never seen those kind of bite marks.
Do you have any idea what the biological implications are? I'm grasping at straws here.
No animal I've seen. Low pressure bite marks. Yeah, extremely asymmetrical distribution too. You're looking at one big baddie with a messed up mouth. A bunch of smaller beasts chomping in unison.
How small do you think their mouths are?
Oh, they couldn't be larger than a typical human.
Do you think?
No way. No way it's human. There's all types of patterns. Some are similar to human, but most aren't. You're gonna want to talk to someone who deals in exotic animals there, Chief.
I think I know a guy.
Can I help you?
You sure can, sweetheart. I'd like to speak to Mr. Diblack.
He's out to lunch. Can I give him a message?
When's he due back? Maybe I'll wait for him.
He just left. And he takes a long lunch. Sometimes 2 to 3 hours.
I was getting the feeling Diblack didn't go out to lunch. Despite being in the construction business, Diblack probably built about one gazebo a year. He was a fence, someone who could help you convert stolen wares or contraband into cold, hard creds. The 30% he took off the top made him a king of the slums. Hey, Diblack. I know you're back there, pal. Diblack, open up. I can hear you squeezing your fat ass through the window.
Okay, fine. You caught me. Now help me out of here, will ya?
Of course. He's indignant even when he's desperate for help.
Now there we go. So what can I do ya for, Shade?
Are we going to acknowledge you trying to run out on me?
Didn't plan on it.
Okay. Take a look at these.
Hey, whoa. I ain't never killed nobody. Looking for a subspace engine or a priceless Panglorian artifact? Yeah, that's me all day, but I don't do wet work, pal.
Calm down, you dolt. I'm looking for advice.
My advice is to not find whatever did this.
Do you have any idea what animal leaves these kind of marks?
I don't typically deal in murderous creatures. Are some dangerous? Of course, but not like this.
What about the teeth?
This gives me a bad feeling. Something right out of a horror story. Looks like your victim was eaten alive by people.
No, not all the marks match a human's chompers.
Orin, there's a lot more than just humans on Zenith.
So what are you telling me, Diblack? A gang of interspecies humanoid cannibals are roving the streets? God, that'll be great
Hey,
press.
Hotshot, what's your expert theory?
I guess I don't have one. Well, thanks for nothing.
Yeah. Always glad to help the Zenith police.
Next time I come knocking, don't bother running.
Classy, get a contractor in here and widen these windows.
Okay. Somehow, the wounds indicate multiple people of different species consumed most of the flesh off of this man. They were synchronously biting. There's literally nothing here. Wait a minute. That's a sobriety chip. Hey, Davenport,
Yo, what's up, Orin?
you see this chip? Is that in evidence?
Lucky for you, it's still on my desk. I'm running a little behind. This should have been logged already.
Thanks. O'Hooley's House of Beer and Sobriety. 1 month chip. These corporations have no shame. Looks like our victim was living the clean life, or at least trying to.
Okay, so you said a couple of siltheads just attacked you and started gnawing on your arm.
Gnawing? No, they damn near ate my arm to the bone. Under this cast is mostly just titanium and pseudo skin. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd have been eaten alive. They were so strong and crazed.
It's okay, we took care of them. We know the rest of the story, so you're free to go.
Oh, okay. Thanks again.
Where was this at?
Where was what?
Your victim, where was she attacked?
Right on the street, next to that old church.
There's a lot of bodies in that area lately.
Oh, I hadn't noticed, but yeah, you're right. What a shocker.
So much death in this city, yet no one bats an eye. Not even the cops. If there's junkies attacking people and rampant overdoses, I don't think the clinics are working. Doesn't help that they're run by the same corporations that push the poison. This chip and that woman's unfortunate experience are the only leads I have. Looks like I'm headed to a meeting.
I don't know, I guess that makes me sad. And then when I get to feeling sad, I start to feel helpless. It makes me want to use silt again. Because the silt, it makes me feel unstoppable. It makes me feel like I'm in control. Except, I know the truth is, I'm not in control at all. I'm just high.
Thank you all for sharing. You are all truly making great strides.
That was a compelling story there.
Oh, thanks, Mr.
Dixon.
I don't think I've seen you around. Are you new? To the group, I mean.
Yeah, I mean not to support groups in general. I just haven't gone around here.
Silt, synth, what's a poison?
I'm not an addict.
But then why are you here?
I lost my son to synth. Somehow, these meetings help.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish your son had had someone to turn to like Dr. Harrow. He really is helping us turn our lives around.
Yeah, if you're one of the lucky ones left alive.
And don't mind her. Despite all his great work, some people still don't quite trust Dr. Harrow.
If I could afford it, I'd get reassigned to one of those fancy clinics that nuke the bad blood straight out of you.
You see, Dr. Harrow, he believes in putting in the work. If you strive for your sobriety, well, then you're more likely to cherish it and keep it going.
Indeed. The more invested you are in a positive change, the more likely you are to achieve it.
Oh, Dr. Harrow, this is Mr. Dixon. It's his first time here. He lost his son to sin. Oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry, Mr. Dixon. I didn't mean to tell your business.
It's fine, really. By now, it's old news.
Excuse us, Charlie.
Oh, of course, Dr. Harrow.
What is it you're looking to find here?
Somehow I felt exposed. Like he already knew I wasn't there for my emotional needs. I could tell I was made already. Bare ass in the wind. I was telling Charlie over there it makes me feel better when I'm thinking of my boy.
So old news still hurts indeed, doesn't it? Mr. Dixon. Maybe you should come by in a couple of days. We're meeting again, and maybe we can learn a little more about your son.
I'm afraid I don't have the gift of gab. More of a listener.
Very well. I suppose you wouldn't be a good detective without being an impeccable listener. Hope to see you again.
Before I could even get a word out, he sauntered off, my mouth still agape by the time he glanced back and whispered into a man's ear. Just what are you hiding, Doc? I walked outside and saw the girl who shared my distrust for the good doctor. She looked disheveled, even more so than your average addict.
I wouldn't hang around here if I were you. Let me guess. You couldn't get to question Dr. Harrow before he said some creepy shit and walked away?
That's the long and short of it. Is it that obvious who I am?
Yeah. The light hasn't quite left your eyes yet. I can tell you still think this fucked up world can change. The rest of us are jaded. I'm serious though. Don't stick around.
Everybody on the street speaks in riddles. Trust is in low supply and demand. Looks like my night was going to be booked up sorting through addicts' case files.
You okay, Orin? I'm usually the last one out of here.
All good, Davenport. Just following my path of crumbs.
Are you getting anywhere?
I don't know how exactly, but I got the feeling it has something to do with that addict rehab center by the old church where that Vic was recently assaulted.
That's the one run by the creepy doctor,
Harrow, yeah.
Yeah, right. He had a pretty big fall from grace. I heard he got shit canned.
What for?
I don't know, but it must have been pretty bad.
Thanks, Davenport.
Sure.
I went through dozens of articles, mostly hush-hush ambiguous stuff. But the gist of it seems to be that the doctor was somewhat of a mad scientist. Harrow developed techniques for repairing mental and physical damage through the controlled use of drugs, paired with nanomachines. It seems he pissed off the wrong shareholders by going over budget and under on results. The heavy hitters couldn't monetize a specific product or wonder drug, as this was a multi-stage therapy. When corporate funds were pooled, they caught Harrow using illicit credits. The cartel paid for a weaponized version of his therapy. Dr. Harrow used his technique to achieve a sort of mind control. Ultimately, he didn't get his results for the cartel either, or he would have never gone to prison. More accurately, a couple years in a white-collar daycare and was released back on the streets. Davenport? You still here? I told you I'm fine. I'm a big boy.
Mr. Dixon, please. Please, you have to...
Charlie?
I can't.
It's actually Detective Shade. What are you...
I'm...
Whoa, Charlie.
Sir, please. Please.
Damn, Charlie. Did Dr. Harrow put you up to this?
No, I can't. I'm not...
No, Charlie.
I can't
Do not
help.
Take my gun,
Please.
Charlie. You
I'm
don't
sorry.
have to do this.
I'm so sorry.
Don't shoot. Don't.
I can't...
You okay, Orin?
Davenport? I thought you left.
Yeah, I was on my way out, but there was another murder that might fit into your case. I wanted to talk about it in person. Who the hell was that?
His name was Charlie. I just met him earlier today when I was crashing that meeting.
You think Dr. Harrow?
Yeah. Looks like I was sniffing around the doctor's next pet project. I got a hold of the ME and had them investigate immediately. I needed a tox report ASAP.
Just like you said, Detective, there's a large concentration of a strange drug, almost like if humans sinned and sieved and had none of negative side effects from either, making the user almost devoid of any inhibitions. I've also found trace amounts of nanomachines, but it seems they have basically self-destructed.
How so? Like remotely deactivated?
No, more like self-cannibalized.
Cannibalized? Where did I hear that before? The woman's arm. But why her, if it's connected to Dr. Harrow? The targets have to be specific if they are controlled by nanomachines. Let's see. Yep, the incident was reported by Janice Woolen, a Zenith Medical Board member, one of the bigwigs who shut Harrow down. Hey Davenport, I'm forwarding you all the files and evidence for Dr. Harrow's arrest. I don't have time to wait on a warrant. All the dots are connecting and he's at the center of it all.
Got it. Harrow's last known address was the church next to the rehab center? Hasn't this guy ever heard of not shitting where you sleep?
It's the junkie sector on Zenith, Davenport. He probably didn't think anyone would look into a couple ODs and dead hobos. Arrogant prick. Looks like the doctor will be the one getting a house call tonight.
Don't go in without backup, Orin.
I can't let him get away with this. I don't even remember when the church popped up here. There's no signage or distinctive features, except for the plain cross and generic steeple, indicative of any hundreds of denominations. He knew how to hide in plain sight. Hell, he probably built this place to look old and forgettable. As I walked towards the building, a curtain moved in the window. I already assumed he knew I was coming. I checked my gun after I pulled it from the holster. Anybody home? Doc? Oof. I tripped over something mounded up on the floor. My flashlight revealed the half-eaten corpse of the addict that warned me earlier. Should have taken her own advice.
Detective Orin Shade, Zenith PD. I see Charlie was utterly useless. Oh well, he took care of our friend there on the floor. You may make for an interesting subject. You know, Detective, progress really cannot be halted. You either have faith in the process, or you get the hell out of the way.
At least 10 emaciated ghouls stood before me. Hard to believe they were ever Zenith citizens. They didn't seem to be lucid like Charlie.
Bring him to me, my pets.
Though there were quite a few in front of me, I heard the space behind me fill with more of these walking dead. I was completely surrounded. Okay, I'll come peacefully. And I would have never made it through all of them. But if I could be led straight to Harrow, maybe I had a chance to shut down the whole hive. I was pushed from behind in the direction of the panel. It opened to a hidden staircase, seemingly descending forever. I walked and walked and walked. Finally, I came to a small metal door that opened automatically as I approached.
So good of you to come willingly, Detective.
While I'm nothing if not copacetic.
To have that tone when you're in such a harrowing position.
You must know ZPD is on their way. They know what you've been up to. Any minute now.
Go to sleep now, Detective. You have the honor of propelling science forward.
What the? I can't move my arms.
Ah, Silt. The beauty is in its power. The ability to cast off all self-doubt and hesitation. But as is, you're essentially hurled into madness. Synth has the fantastic ability to numb the pains of the world. No more doting on the past or being shackled by it. Combining the two makes for some interesting results, namely being a force of nature, with no inhibitions, like a super soldier. At least that's how the cartel sees it. In that regard, they're a little one-dimensional. But hey, it pays the bills.
You're off your rocker, Doc.
First, I'll administer the silt. It'll keep your adrenaline and metabolism at exceptionally high rates, increasing the efficacy of the other compounds. There we go.
I felt every fiber of every muscle in my body explode in a volcano of pain, a hot, swelling magma. My blood pushed hard through my veins, felt like my heart was preparing to explode. While I thrashed around, I noticed something. I was ripping my bindings. But in order to survive, I needed the next injection to counteract a heart attack.
Great job, Detective. Your body is responding fantastically. I'm very impressed. Now for my special form of synth.
I was instantly leveled out. I could still feel a soreness like my entire circulatory system was stretched out. I needed to free myself before whatever the next phase was. It won't be long now.
Wonderful, simply wonderful. Detective, you're exceeding all of my expectations. Now just a few of my worker bees to enter your body and leave you a malleable husk. Another Godum for my army.
You mean the cartel's army, Doctor?
I didn't hear you come in. Of course, the cartel's army. In one fell swoop, we'll have cured the plague of addiction and homelessness.
I don't care about that. Just finish up here. ZPD will be here soon. and I want to be long gone. Damn it, we have to go now. I'm taking the data and some of our assets.
You go ahead. I'll be right behind you. You five, go guard the entrance.
What the hell is going on, Harrow? Why does the cartel need this kind of army?
Why would I bother telling you? You're about to be hollowed out, as it were.
On the security feed, I watched the ZPD TAC force shred the guards and set charges on the panel door. I needed a distraction to break out of my restraints. Looky there, Doc. They'll be here any second now. Looks like your friends at the cartel have everything they need from you. They're gonna leave you to rot.
The data they took is encrypted. Without me, it'll take months to crack it. Plus, there's a dead man's switch. If my heart stops, the data conflagrates. Nanomachines are truly a wonder, eh?
His back turned as he filled a syringe and watched the monitors. Now's my time. Dr. Harrow, you were under arrest.
Kill him and anyone else who comes through that door. Sorry, Detective. I enjoyed our time together, but it seems I must go.
Harrow escaped through an elevator in the back of the room. Meanwhile, I was being squeezed to death by one of his brainless husks. There was a scalpel on the operating tray. If I could just reach.
Hey, you okay, Orin? Whoa, looks like you're dabbling in ocular surgery now, huh?
Lock this place down. I don't know where this elevator lets out, but Dr. Harrow and a cartel member just left. Try to head him off. I'm pursuing.
Alpha, you're with Detective Shade. Bravo, clear the compound. Seize all data.
Alright, let's take this freight elevator. They're only a couple minutes ahead of us. If you see Dr. Harrow, don't be afraid to put him down. He has a dead man's switch for his encrypted data and nanomachines. I'd rather lose evidence and save lives than let the cartel escape with an army.
Yes, sir. Clear. Clear. Exiting the tunnel.
Guns drawn, we ran to the mouth of the tunnel, spewing us onto the wastes outside of the city limits. Dr. Harrow was running in the distance. Alpha 1, give me your rifle.
Sir, he's too far
Give
out.
me the damn thing.
Holy shit. Nice shot, sir.
Yes, Detective. Nice shot.
I turned around and fired into the cloaked cartel member, but all my bullets bounced right off. He stood confidently with a small army of mindless people behind him.
Thanks for doing my dirty work.
He had a dead man's switch, bound to the nanomachines. How are they still under your control?
I jammed the signal. It's a one-time command to self-destruct. I think Harrow's genius was a little overstated, if you ask me.
Alpha Team, arrest him, and try not to kill all the junkies. Well, what are you waiting for?
Get rid of the detective, and let our pets pick at his bones.
Wait.
We don't work for the ZPD. Alpha to Bravo leader. Detective Shade is down.
Confirmed. Detective Davenport is down too. Let's wrap it up, boys.
What are you staring at? Clean this up.
White-hot pain in my chest made it hard to breathe. Darkness closed in from all sides as I felt hands and teeth pulling me apart. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything but look up at the night sky as my vision faded. Every time a shooting star would streak across the night sky, you made me stop and watch it with you. I'd like to think you're one of those stars. Maybe now, we can burn brightly together.